Streamlabs.
Treaties.
And we're going to switch.
What's treaties?
Alright, I've got a theme for you ladies. And I've got a Season 3 recap.
Nice.
Okay, so before we get started, I'm trying to think, is there anything... So I texted you guys today about some downtime activities, so hopefully you've thought of some. We'll go through kind of where we're at. But first, let's start off with a full season recap. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible so that we're not wasting time. But here we go. Let's crank this a little bit. Okay, welcome to Season 4 for the Wenches of Waydora. Last season, we started off with Valdric literally giving birth to an embryo. This weird death sack, if you will. You guys found out that it was Calliope's soul was in the embryo, and as Valdric gave birth, Calliope passed out, and not only passed out but died. There was a big scuffle between the Shadow Daddies, Diabras and Diabras, who calls himself Vengeance. Big fight. You guys were in the Underdark. Somehow ended up teleporting yourselves to the Nine Hells, where the very surface level, the ninth, or the first layer of the Nine Hells. So not too deep, but there's a big fight there. Some of you guys got separated. Diabras took Solara with him. Calliope freaking died. Valdric also kind of died, passed out, almost died, and Anya was like, Diabras, you need to convert to this religion. And he's like, what the heck's going on? So everyone kind of teleported to their places. Solara and Vengeance, Diabras returned to Wind's Peak, had their little kind of solo storyline. She was kind of trying to keep it low-key. She learned a little bit more about Diabras. He's been watching her whole life. That's creepy. They visited the Temple of Kelemvor, visited Zathir. Meanwhile, Calliope was having dreams, visions, not really sure, true, false. Let me turn this down a little bit. A lot of stuff going on. There was a big reunion at Phantasmo. You guys teleported to Phantasmo. Everyone eventually ended up back at Phantasmo, to which point Anya was like, Diabras, you need to convert, or else Valdric dies. And so Diabras had this moment, eventually gave himself to the Saz Father, which revived Valdric. The deal was complete. Diabras was the last of the members of the Phantasmo Circus that needed to convert in order for Saz Father's deal to be met. So all prereqs were met. Valdric came back to life. The soul went back from the embryo back into Calliope, dissipated. Everyone was hunky-dory. Valdric and Calliope got this cool bond now, this tattoo. They can kind of hear each other's thoughts, but only when they're drinking. Kind of a little lasting touch from the Saz Father. And let's see, so you guys finally met up. The brothers met again, and the last time they saw each other, they were fighting. So they decided to cool out. You guys talked. There's some stuff going on. They teleported the heck out of there. Phantasmo was empty because they're on tour. Only person there is Tommy Two Tails, the tiefling, kind of keeping things running, keeping things clean while everyone's gone. He said, yeah, there's this cursed maze. There's been curses in this maze, and, you guys go check it out. So you guys went to this cursed maze. This is the mirror maze. At the end of it, you found Tivit. Tivit was the one tiefling crazy weirdo that was terrorizing Calliope a few episodes before. Some stuff happened. You grabbed Tivit, took him with you, were ambushed by a bunch of tieflings. You planned and eventually separated from the brothers. You guys teleported back to the Underdark where there were hostages. You saved a bunch of hostages. Kind of fast forwarding here a little bit. There's a terrorist attack on Eastwind. Trevok was crowned king, and you guys were tasked to then travel from Eastwind to Northwynd. Valdric made a business arrangement. We'll get to that later. You guys set out across the Lindhelm Plains, northwest up to Northwynd. Along the way, you came across a bronze obelisk. Anya had an encounter with a dragon named Forasega. Had a vision, all that good stuff, got a jewel out of it. You guys then came across Wind's Peak. You first went to the graveyard, traveled down to Darrow Tomb, learned a little bit about Solara's sister, Elena, and her past. There was an attack, an undead attack on Wind's Peak. You guys were able to save Zathir and the temple and Wind's Peak. Zathir was like, what the heck's going on? You guys, Zathir scried, I believe, and he showed you all these tiefling attacks, these terrorist attacks happening all over Waydora. You guys made a plan. We got to keep setting out. You guys continued on. You stumbled across a group of monster hunters called the Predators at the Huntsman Lodge, at a bar within the bar. You did some trials, joined the Predators, took a contract, stopped by Darkmoor East, and picked up Drake and Serenity. Eventually, all of you made it to Northwynd. You met the undercover Emperor, guy who claimed he was Emperor Darin Doratha. You attended a masquerade ball and confronted Diabras. So a lot going on there, obviously, but eventually you saved the city from the tiefling assassins and demons that were spawning from Diabras. A lot went into that, obviously. 32 cows. Drake and Serenity just created just a big chaotic mess and then dipped out of there, teleported away back to their boat for you guys to deal with the mess. Obviously Diabras had a lot to do. Diabras being Diamorn Cabris' father, demon lord, stabbed the Emperor, teleported out of there as well, and there was demons spawning that you had to kill and deactivate the spawning in order to save the Emperor. Solara raised the Emperor from the dead. And yeah, you guys kind of saved the day, and that's where we leave off. So let me switch gears here. Let me go
First of all, that music is so good.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's given high fantasy epic.
Thank you.
It's given Willow, Lord of the Rings.
Willow. Amazing. Alright, this is just going to be straight ambience. So we're going to kind of do a fast forward here. You guys kind of were able to get a room, basically a whole wing of a noble's manor all to yourselves, because obviously you saved the day, so you know you have now some noble connections. So we're kind of doing 8 to 10 weeks of you guys just kind of living in Northwynd, healing, perusing, carousing, shopping if you need to. Stuff is going on, stuff is changing. There are, let me switch back here to my rumors. Bing bong bing. Word has spread around the city, around the capital of Waydora that you guys are in, that the Emperor Darin Doratha has returned. Word has spread. There's been secret meetings over the past couple days, weeks. Secret meetings within the High Court that you guys just hear about, but you don't really know what's going on in them. And of course, that High Court is the High Court that Anya saved. There's 7 members, and it's kind of like the you guys know when they're choosing the new Pope, and everyone's like, oh, I wonder what they're talking about in there, and then they do the smoke whenever they've made their selection. Literally same thing is going on. There's red and blue smoke eventually signaled from the Grand Hall that signals that they have come to a decision about this emperorship. Because if you remember, there were 2 emperors up for election before the undercover actual emperor returned. There was that dude who got trampled and killed by the cows. And then there was Diabras, who was posing as an emperor to kind of weasel his way in and create his mess. So now there's literally no candidates. Darin was back. He died. He was revived. They're trying to decide whether or not he's the real thing. It seems like he had a good relationship with the court wizard, and the court wizard's been kind of vouching for him. So they're really like in the thick of this decision making, because he's been gone for 12, 14 years. So in the meantime, we'll get to the next scene here, but before that, there's a couple weeks that go by that you guys are able to do what you need to do. So, um, I let's see. I think Charlotte wanted to go last, but or unless you're ready now, Charlotte.
I mean, I can be.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what did you want to accomplish, if anything? You can. I kind of gave you guys a list as reference. You know, if you just want to be drunk in a tavern the whole time, if you want to be sleeping around, you know, if you want to be upgrading your stuff.
We out here straight fucking.
Yeah. Training would involve, you know, learning maybe a new language, being proficient with a new skill. I would allow being proficient with a new, being proficient with like tools. So like, you know, like thieves' tools. Taking the time to learn that, obviously that would come with a cost. But I would allow being proficient with a skill. That would take some rolls and probably be more expensive. But you know, it's whatever up to you guys. You know, if Calliope really wanted to learn proficiency with like heavy armor, you know, we'd make some rolls and could make that happen. Just as an example. So, Charlotte, what do you want to do?
Anya's in bulk season, and Anya wants to learn the
Oh,
tough.
yeah.
You-
Yeah.
The tough feat?
Tough is such a good
Yes.
feat.
Yes. I'm gonna bulk up. Like
Okay.
do some lifting, like calorie surplus.
Playing Eye of the
Urban
Tiger.
Okay.
In the
Getting my
North
tan on to
Ward
accentuate all of my muscles. It's my bodybuilding phase.
Okay. So, to bulk up and retrieve a feat, to gain a feat like that in such a short time, you would probably need a trainer. So, where do
Okay.
you think Anya would go to toughen up, bulk up? Who she
I
would
mean,
go
I
to?
might-
I mean,
I might search within the military there because we have access to all of that. Or like, I'm assuming we're like attached to where the main headquarters of the military is. Either that or yeah, probably that. I try that.
Okay. Give me just a general charisma roll. Straight charisma modifier.
18.
Okay. Yeah, you just in that battle, the guards that were coming in were Waydorian guards. You know, some of them pretty wimpy, some of them were the actual Waydorian guard that's used around the capital. There's different levels and layers to that. You know, there's the royal guard. They're very protective over the high court and the emperor, and then there's like the military that actually goes out. Some of the guys that you have a recollection of the three Northwynd soldiers that you met at the Huntsman Lodge that were just passing through, they're part of the Waydorian guard. So you've seen them around. You recognize them by their probably red and blue armor, and yeah, you just kind of are able to talk one up and just say, you know, I mean, what do you say? Trying to toughen up.
Yeah, I'm looking to increase my defenses and bulk up in order to be more formidable in battle.
Okay. With the toughness feat, there's not a prereq, is there? Is there like a strength? Okay. All right. I'll say, so I kind of just have a base amount of time that it takes to train. Is the base would probably be like 10 work weeks with an instructor, minus your intelligence modifier. So yours is what, a +3?
Mm-hmm.
So it would take you 7 work weeks to gain this feat. With that, I mean, it's a big feat. Probably going to be 50 gold per week, which would come to the amount of 350 gold to gain this feat.
Okay.
And during this time, you find, you know, a soldier that's willing to work with you, one who's pretty tough and not looking down upon you. With your 18, you're able to find one that respects you pretty quickly off the bat. He puts you through a rigorous training course. He just mounts bags of sand on you and has you go through this obstacle course with this extra like 60 pounds of weight on for 1 week, and then focuses on just like hitting you while you're going through this training course, like hitting you with like your rocks, throwing at your armor, and kind of toughening you up, basically, making you work on your endurance 1 week, different muscle groups every week, to the point where after the 7 weeks, you guys notice Anya's getting a little toned, a little fit, a little booty.
More toned. I feel like I was pretty toned before.
True. So yeah, go ahead and mark off 350 gold and yeah, your toughness feat.
Woohoo!
And this, I don't hand out these feats often. It's obviously feats are a big deal. So it's kind of more as a reward. People know who you are, they know what you did, and there's an instructor that was willing to help you out in that amount of time. So don't think it's just like a hop into any city and do it. So that's Anya. What about you guys?
You already know Baldric's been in and out of every tavern. She's not even really drinking. She's just in there singing. And like the first 90% of it, like the first good 90% of the night, it's all stuff we've done. It's all tales of the Wenches' adventures, and they're true tales, a little bit, exaggerated, albeit, but what good bard doesn't? And some of it, I'm just throwing in random shit. I'm making songs about the most random crap because, if most of it's true, who's to say all of it isn't? So she's sprinkling all sorts of shit in there. Just really trying to get the message of Waydora heard near and far. The Wenches of Waydora heard near and far. I want everyone across the continent to know of our band of brave women. Can I also try to get proficiency in plate mail over here, or is that something that would take too long for me to do?
It would be heavy armor. Yeah, it would. I would say it would have an effect on the amount of telltalery that would go on. So you would have to kind of sacrifice sometimes that you would spend in the tavern. But I mean, I would say you train during the day. Maybe you find the same kind of group.
I'm training solely with Anya.
Yeah.
I started by just watching from the doorway and being like, nah, I'm just gonna stand back here. But then I was like, yeah, no, I'm hyped.
Yeah.
That song that's playing, whatever that is, what do you call it? Eye of the Tiger? Yeah, that sounds great. Let's go.
Yeah, it's literally Cassian and all the Valkyries, and
it's Cassian and SpongeBob, truly, because compared to whatever Anya's lifting, I'm lifting teddy bears.
You count them, 2 marshmallows.
2 marshmallows.
Yeah. Yep. It's you find kind of the same group during that. What's your intelligence modifier?
I
think it's
one.
Like +1. Yeah. So it takes you 2 extra weeks with after Anya finishes, and there's a lot of death crawls. They make one of their heaviest guys by the end of it, lay on your back and you have to like crawl across the dirt while carrying him to kind of like simulate the
Baldric screaming, "You would be proud! She would be proud of me!"
Now I think with plate mail, you would have to also increase your strength to a 15. I think that's a prereq, and right now it's a 13. So your next...
I have the capability, but I'm not strong enough.
Correct. So your next ability score increase would go into that. But at least now, by the end of it, you do have the proficiency with heavy armor. Because plate mail all falls under it. So you're proficient with light and heavy, but not medium.
Don't know what medium is.
Don't know what it is.
It's very
it's
Baldric.
one or the other extreme.
Anya's joining you at the taverns at night. I'm just drinking by myself. But I'm
there.
there.
Welcome, bienvenue, welcome. Anya's in the corner like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, go ahead and roll because it's some true, some not. I'm just gonna say a general performance. It's all a performance. So go ahead and roll a performance check for your nights at the tavern.
It's successful unless it's a 1.
Yeah, it's 11 plus 13.
24 sounds good.
24.
Yeah, I mean people are into it. You have a different limerick every night. Some nights you get really solemn and it's a poem, and people are already drawn in because of the previous night. So you're gaining a lot of foot traffic, and you're going back and forth between the Itchy Bison and the Lucky Halfling. The Lucky Halfling being the big one, and Itchy Bison kind of being that hole in the wall tavern that's gaining a lot more foot traffic than the barkeeper would like, because he likes to keep his establishment low key.
Low key, and I'm out here like, come on, come
Yeah.
on.
And I think with a 24, you read that situation pretty well, and that's kind of where you do your solemn poems. You know, you're more not woo, I'm Baldric, what's up? You know, it's more like so, and you just kind of you rhyme and you draw people in with your allure, and people are there for the stories. Not sure if they're true or not, but they seem to be. They seem to believe you.
Yeah.
They seem to believe most what you say. Okay, cool. So yeah, give yourself proficiency in heavy armor, and then just remember you won't be able to get that bonus until your strength is up to 15.
Later.
Yep. So it's a good investment. Solara, how about you? You can join in the fun. You can learn a language.
Solara like needs money, so she would have been like thinking to herself. She's like, "What can I do that can make money?" I think I would probably try and get like a hookup to be like a doctor, basically, going around making like I'd be like, I saved
An at-home healer.
what's his name, you know, so like I could just be like a little traveling doctor around the city or something. Like I would try and do that, like either through the like
A miracle
is
worker.
it a palace? Either through the like
Grand Hall.
official people, or I would just be like, who needs a doctor? I'm basically a professional. And then I would probably just spend as much time as I can working, because I gotta provide one for Cookie. And I need a lot of money for a lot of things related to spells, but I have
She's a
not
material girl.
I'm a material girl, and my spells require material
A lot of
items.
diamonds.
Diamonds, sunburst pendants. I'm like, I don't have money for any of that.
Bro.
Yeah,
I'm poor.
I hear that. Okay, so
Yeah.
you kind of go to work for the next 10 work weeks. Go ahead and make a medicine check, because that's the main kind of work that you're doing throughout this time.
Oh, I got a nat 20
Okay.
plus 10, so I got a 30.
First nat 20 of the season.
Okay.
Of all the nat 20s I can get, I'll take it.
I like
I'll
it.
take it.
All right, so you, with the help of Valdric's initial like couple nights of telling the tale, I would assume Valdric's recounting the tale in the Grand Hall and the masquerade ball that never was, and the 32 cows, and all of a sudden it all leads up to this stab, and we thought all hope was lost because the rumored Darin Doratha has returned, but he's dead. And here comes Solara, and this is like the climax of Valdric's limericks, poems, songs, is Solara going over and reviving the Emperor. With Valdric's role, most people believe it, and with your role, people take a liking to you. And I don't want to compare you to Jesus during his 3 years of ministry, but you've got a following around town, around the city.
Oh boy.
People want to touch the hem of your coat. People
The
want
Church of Solara.
people want to hear more about your religion. I would assume while you're doing some healings that people are like, where did you learn this? Who do you worship? And of course, you would probably talk about Kalimvor a bit.
Spread the word.
Of course. Oh yeah.
I think you're spreading the
Praise
word
Kalimvor.
about Kalimvor, and some people are into it. Some people are just like, yeah, thanks for the healing, and kind of go about their business. But with a nat 20, you make some money. You make some decent money. You're healing people. There's a lot of the initial guards from the fight that need healing. Just general disease and sickness, because Northwynd is the kind of melting pot of Waydora. They bring in, their gates are always open. They bring in all kinds of stuff.
Yucky.
Exactly. And yeah, so I would say go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a d20 with advantage, and that's how much gold you'll make each week. So then you would multiply that by 10. And I might add, we'll say, roll a d20 with advantage, add 10 to it, and then multiply that total by 10. So,
Okay.
go for it.
Add 10. Okay, 14. Okay, so I rolled a 14, so it'd be 24
Yeah, so you make 240 gold.
each week. Perfect.
Well,
And
it
it's
would be
10. How many weeks?
It would be 24 gold per week. So
Per week. Okay.
you're
Oh,
working
gotcha.
10 weeks, you get 240 gold.
40 gold. Okay.
Not a bad pool.
Earned.
All right, the healer's in town.
Saving lives.
I
It's not their time
imagine.
yet.
Last but not least, Calliope's just looking around for a cat. What's Calliope doing during these 10 weeks? If you're talking, you might be muted. Okay, she's got the finger out.
I was muted.
That's
Sorry.
fine.
I
That's
was
fine.
looking things up because I hadn't updated my spell save DC. I also don't think I took my second ability score improvement. I think I only ever took one at 4th, but I'm not positive at this point.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure I only did it once.
All right, I trust you.
Okay. I will do that later, but I was just looking. I'm pretty sure I'm just adding it to my intelligence at this point.
Okay.
But I wanted to call that out because I wasn't positive.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And that'll put you at a intelligence.
Plus
There's a-
5.
there's a
'cause I
plus
have
5
an
now.
18.
Yep.
Yeah,
So you'd
okay.
be at a 20 plus 5. Fun. And so let's see. Yeah, your spell casting ability would go up to plus 5. Your spell save DC, I think, would go up to a 16. Spell attack bonus would go up to an 8. Yeah. So that's the things that it would. And then, of course, all of your skills that involve intelligence, so like Arcana, History, all that would be bumped up by 1.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
Thank you. How do you calculate your spell save DC so I can write it so I remember how?
I want to say it's 8 plus your spellcasting modifier, which is intelligence, plus your proficiency bonus.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, I think 8's the base, and then
8 plus proficiency plus your modifier.
I think I have a 17 because my proficiency's a 4. Okay.
Yep. So yep, that makes sense.
Okay. Thank you. I think first off, Calliope would be looking for new spells. Always.
Okay.
And then for sure wandering around to find a cat. I would like a big murder cat, but also I would take a little cat right now just to be my friend and follow with me.
Okay.
It's my season goal, not necessarily right now.
Yeah. Definitely heard ya. Yeah, there's a lot of. I would say there's a lot of stray dogs. Not a lot, but there's a couple stray dogs that you come across in Northwynd. Not necessarily cats yet. You do see in your guys' 10 weeks there, you do see 1 or 2 tabaxi come through, but they're like humanoid cats that are actual humans.
Do you want to be my companion?
That's the
I
closest.
feel like that's weird.
That's the closest cat that cat-like creature that you come across is basically a freaking Khajiit.
Sure, every evening Calliope ends up at the tavern with Valdric, despondent because she couldn't find a cat to bring with her.
Yeah,
Drinking away her woes.
Just sad.
Sad.
What the heck happened there? No. Okay. I would say you probably spend a good amount of time at the Northwind Library, just reading. Let's see. Learning spells. So let me pull up something here. What kind of spells were you trying to learn?
I think after like the demons and everything who are immune to fire, I'm looking for like other elements, so like water or cold, and then anything that just seems like useful for us while we're out traveling on the road.
Okay.
I feel like Calliope is more of a, I kind of just wander in and see if anything looks useful. And fire spells. She does have a lean towards fire spells.
Yeah. Okay, I would say it would, depending on the spell level, it would cost time and money. The higher the spell level, the more time and money it would cost. In this time span that you have, you're basically going to the library and spending time copying down and learning a new spell, or however many spells that you're able to purchase or whatever. In this time, you would only have time to learn at a maximum a 6th level spell.
Okay.
You know, a 9th level would take almost a year to copy down and learn the components and the motions and everything. But something like a 6th level spell would, I mean, it's according to this book, it is very expensive. You probably only can afford probably up to 3rd level.
Okay.
Just copying down, it's, you know, I have a cost here for cantrips. It would take 15 gold to learn 1 day. Not bad. 1st level also would only take a day, but it would cost 25 gold. 2nd level would cost 250 gold. Then it starts jumping up pretty exponentially.
Yeah.
So
if they're evocation, they're half price and half the time, because I specialize in evocation spells.
Nice. So, okay. So it would go cantrip 15 gold, which would be halved. I'm just going to tell you the total, and then you can have it in your head.
Yeah, I can half them later.
1st level would be 25 gold. 2nd level would be 250. 3rd level 500, and then 4th level would be 2,500. So it goes up pretty exponentially, but it's a lot to learn a new spell.
I probably only try the 3rd level. I'll save the higher level spells for when I level up and get 2 free spots.
Okay.
A lot of gold.
And I would allow, you can barter with you know, maybe try to barter with someone in the Northwind Library because of all the, you know, the performance check that Valdrick made. She's obviously singing and talking about you, and people start to get to know you and hear of the legend of you, and she kind of makes you guys legendary, or as best she can. So we can see if that has any way on the people of the library, and if they've heard about you, and if you can talk down the price. So if you want to make we'll say it's a persuasion roll. Let's see if you can barter. Because those are expensive.
Just a little. Being a wizard's expensive, man. This is the price I pay for not needing armor. Persuasion is a 1. I only get a +1 to persuasion.
There we go.
Oh, that's a 9.
9 total? Oh, 10 total?
Yeah. I rolled an 8.
Okay. Do you have any inspiration points left that you could roll?
No. I don't. I've never gotten inspiration.
Oh,
so.
man. What does that say about me as a DM? Okay.
I'm quiet and I'm in the background.
Alright, so with a 9, yeah, it's You don't offend anyone, but people are pretty stuck on their prices in the Northwind library, so they don't budge. You do get the half off for the evocation spells.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it.
I also think I would try to do armor. I don't think I can wear armor as wizard. I think it interferes with my spells, which is why.
Yeah, I was just using
Okay.
you as an example earlier, but yeah,
That's why I was
wizards.
like, can I get armor?
Yeah, wizards
that
don't wear.
possible?
I think wizards are like monks. They just don't wear armor.
Okay.
Um,
I just wanted to check with that because I was like, if that's possible.
yeah, no. So yeah, I would take a little bit of time to. Charlotte's putting Rosalie to bed. Look at some like specific spells.
Okay.
And we can even make a roll. Like if you just come up with like a list, and you can do this throughout the week. It doesn't have to be done tonight, but just make a note.
Okay.
Or if we have downtime later this episode, just make a list of spells that pop out to you, evocation spells, and we'll make a roll and see if they're available, and I'll tell you how much they cost.
Sounds good.
All right. So
And if I thought of something else that I would do while in Waydora. I just have things I want to sell. And I can text you those things if that's easier. It's just like 4 or 5 things that were like we received as like treasure. So I can just like text that to you and you can say like how much I would maybe get or something.
Yeah, that would be actually
I was gonna try to sell him that one time, but then he only wanted like teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a specific vendor. It was only buying monster parts.
Didn't pick up that cue.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of need to wait for Charlotte for the next scene, so we might as well do that if you just want to go through that now.
Yeah. So it's just 4 things. So I have a gold bird cage. I have a silk robe with gold. I have a gold bracelet, and then I have a cloth of gold vestments.
Okay.
Once upon a time, I think I had what those were worth, but I can relook it up.
And we might have posted in the chat what they are. Let's see.
I think you did.
Oh no, he's hot.
Oh no.
Yeah, that one. Yep, just scrolled past that, man. Oh, here we go. Okay, so a gold bird cage that's worth 250. I found it. It's all the way January 3rd, 2023.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I've really been sitting on that for a while.
Yup. Let's see. Let me just make a note of this. 250. Another 250. 25 and 25. So all in all, worth 550 total is what you would guesstimate, and now would come the matter
of what they give me.
of haggling.
Listen, I know, it's just junk in my pocket. If anything, I'll take anything, but I'm not gonna tell them that. I'm ready to haggle.
In your trunk.
I would have brought Valdrick with me wherever I go. I'm like, don't speak unless I need. I'll let you know when I need you.
Don't look
She's
at her.
drunk.
Look at my phenomenal rack.
Yes.
I would say, okay. Oh, Charlotte's back. Cool.
Give her all the money.
Don't you have that cloak? Can't that cloak help you?
Oh yeah, put the "I'm too sexy for my cloak" on.
No, that's for you only.
Solara being legitimately just afraid to be perceived in any scenario is so Amber.
Sorry, I'm making one note real quick. All right. So for the gold bird cage with electrum filigree and the small gold bracelet, you'd probably take that to the central market. Try to find someone to barter with. Since you've already visited the seductive silks, you would assume that your silk robe with gold embroidery could be bartered with the shopkeeper that you met there, as well as the cloth of gold vestments. So we can kind of do two scenes. You walk back to the seductive silks. You see the guy who you guys did business with before, kind of dressed you all for the masquerade ball. He's wearing long blue, silky robes with those cufflinks at the end, white cufflinks at the end, long, kind of dirty brown hair. And sometimes he likes to walk around with his mask on. He just, as an advertisement tool.
That's fun.
So, yeah, you walk in, ding ding, a little bell goes, and he's like, Solara, I've heard a lot about you in the past couple of days.
Been very
Welcome.
busy. Yes.
I know you have.
Yeah.
Girl, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Really busy. Anyways, I have a few things I've just been sitting on for a while, and I thought maybe I'd be able to possibly sell them. I think they would really fit in with this establishment, and would you believe we fought a dragon for these items? I pull out the silk robe and the cloth of gold vestments, and I just say, what do you think I might be able to get for these today? Take your time.
Yeah, he kind of takes the silk robe first. I believe that's the one that's worth 250. And he kind of runs his fingers down it. Oh my gosh! Wow, where did you get this piece? This is fabulous.
Honestly, it was kind of like a dungeon, but it was kept in a nice box, I think. This again, we fought a dragon to get to these items, so they were great treasure. Yeah.
Yes, I see that. And he doesn't actually grab it with his hands. He kind of pulls out a stick, and kind of with two sticks grabs
Smart
it, kind
man.
of lays it at the table. He has a special table where he's viewing stuff, and he kind of grabs an eyeglass and is inspecting it as you're talking to him. He's kind of nodding along. How much you want for it?
Say 200. 200. Yep.
200.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fine piece of silk, Solara.
Yes. I'm sure if you told people who you bought it from, you might get a little extra.
Oh.
A wench of Waydora. I am.
So are you looking?
Baldrick's so proud. I imagine like standing behind me.
Are you looking to pawn this, or are you looking to sell this?
Sell. Yes, I will not need it again.
Very well. Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Come on. Okay. It's a 15.
Okay. He says, I'd give you 200 for this. This is a fabulous piece of cloth, and I would ensure that it would go to a very rightful owner. 200 gold pieces, sweetie. Absolutely. It's all yours.
Amazing.
And
it was a true pleasure.
Of course, and as far as this cloth, you carry a lot of pieces that have gold embroidered in it. You know how much I like gold. That's why you brought it to me, sweetie, didn't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How much you looking for this bad boy?
Let's see. How much was that one worth by itself? I forgot.
25.
Okay. You know, let's say, and I know they probably don't want the gold bracelet, but I'm gonna like pull out the gold bracelet, slide it on top. Let's say the 2 for 50. With the gold bracelet, yeah. I don't remember what that was worth. I probably just lowballed it. I don't know.
And they come as a unit. They come together.
Let's call it a special price.
I like the way you think.
Mhm.
Make a persuasion roll.
What a queen.
I'm so scared.
No, you're the queen.
Oh, I got a nat 20 on that one.
Oh my gosh. 50 gold, sweetie, would be a robbery. I can tell you right now.
Well,
I know a lot of people that would pay a high dollar for this, and if I gave you 50 gold, I would be cheating you. And I want you to come back. And I want you to trust me, and I want you to like me. So I wouldn't give you anything less than 100.
well, then 100 it is.
Of course you're going to say yes. That's a great deal for you. And I know just the person to put this on. This gold bracelet is going to look fantabulous on my friend.
Ah,
Here's
I'm
100
really
gold
happy.
pieces.
Amazing.
I'm more than
I
happy.
will make sure I tell everyone how amazing this establishment is.
This is the best deal I've ever made in my life. And he pulls out pouches and starts counting gold pieces, clangs them on the wooden desk and slides them across. I hope you come back to us. I hope the next event is fire, and I want you to look fire for that next event. And I hope you choose us.
Oh, I will. I will.
Absolutely you will. I know you will.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Icon.
I'm rich. I'm rich now.
Yeah.
I'm rich!
Yep. His name is Henrix. I don't know if you guys learned that
Thank you,
last time.
Henrix. Henrix.
Anything for a fellow wench.
Well, until next
Sometime-
time then, Henrix.
Well, sometimes I
Thank you
wish I
again.
was a wench, but silly me.
Hey, never say never. You can always join us for an adventure if you ever want to.
Oh, I'm not quite the adventuring type.
Hey, I'm just
Unless you
saying.
mean frequenting the
Could be like our
inns.
stylist, you know? I don't know if we could really pay you full term, but
I do have a lot
This
of
is my favorite
work on my
Solara
hands.
interaction.
However, I've always wanted to be someone's personal stylist. I would think about it. I would sleep on it. Yeah.
okay.
I would
Alright, well we
consider
can always we'll circle back on this.
We'll circle
I
back
will
on
be
it.
back,
We'll put
like
a
as
pin
I
on it.
said.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll put a pin in it, yeah. Uh-huh.
Get lost.
Alright. Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
Solara's exhausted after the interaction.
She's like, whoa, too much social
Oh my
interaction.
god. She's like, Solara, or she's like, Valdric, I don't know how you always do this.
That was fucking
Heart-
phenomenal.
Heart's pounding in her chest.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you go kind of around the central market. It is lined with every sort of good you can find. There's produce, there's various meats. It's pretty well kept. It's indoors, really tall ceilings, and there's just rows and rows of kind of like little shops set up. They're pretty permanent. They're not like carts that come by that like you would see in Eastwind in the Luminara Square. This is more kind of permanent, everyday. This is where you see most of the traffic of Northwynd. Takes you a minute, but you do find someone just kind of selling random knickknacks and that might have a good home for your, what is it, a gold cage?
My gold bird cage, yes.
Bird cage,
okay.
yeah.
I'm like, I take a deep breath. Okay. I'm like, okay, let's see, just excuse me.
Yeah, it's a short man with kind of a funny looking hat, kind of just plain looking clothes. He looks pretty busy counting some gold. Kind of does a double take. Yes, how can I help you?
Hey,
You're looking to buy
yes.
or sell?
I was looking to sell today, actually. If that's all right.
Depends
I
what you're
have
trying
this.
to sell.
I pull out the gold bird cage. Name your price.
May I touch it?
Of course, yeah, of course.
He kind of opens the little cage up and kind of inspects it. Again, being pretty respectful of not, messing with it too much. He says, "Yeah, all right. How much you looking to get out of this one?"
Let's say, would you do 175?
Make a persuasion check.
Come on. That one's not as good. We'll say that's a 9.
There's a bit dented here and it's kind of scratched there. Where you been keeping this thing? You just been like just kind of lugging it around?
It's probably been getting bounced around in a bag of holding.
Yeah, it looks like it's been getting bounced around a little bit.
Well, what would you pay for it today?
Still, it's pretty nice gold.
Could be fixed.
I'll give you
Or
130.
melted down.
130.
Is Valdrick still there with her?
Could be.
I guess that'd be up to Valdrick.
130? You know what this is? This is the birdcage that kept the pixie queen Volandra herself. Hold on. The reason that it got a little bit of wear and tear is because the magic actually imbued itself into the gold and wrought metal of this cage. Do you understand? It brings great luck to anyone who carries it. It's truly, honestly, I'm trying to beg her not to sell it. She won't listen to me. She says we have too many things. Too many things. I'm gonna jangle my stuff that I've got all over me to emphasize what I've said.
Yes. She
Maybe
really
at least
didn't want me to let this go. It's too big. It's just too big, you know.
Make a deception check to assist.
Yeah. It's 18 plus 13.
Okay. Who, Pixie, who? Who was in this?
The Pixie Queen Volandra. I mean, I'm not surprised you haven't heard of her. She's been in a cage for the last, 500 years?
Don't say.
Yeah.
You know what? I do see a little bit of pixie dust there on the back there. That's magnificent. He kind of runs his finger down. Even smells like a pixie. Yeah, if pixies had a scent to them, I feel like this is what they would smell like. Perhaps you're right. 150.
Let's say 155. We'll call it good.
And without even breaking eye contact from the cage, he says deal. Holds out his hand, shakes yours, and starts counting the gold without letting the cage out of his sight. And hands you over 150 gold, 155 gold.
Oh yeah. All right.
Valdrick's
Good
really
day, sir. Good day. And I'm like, nice one, Valdrick. I don't know how you came up with that. Nice one though.
Pulled that right out of my asshole. You like that?
I did.
Logic was kicked out of the library if she tried to help me. There was
I can't even remember the last time they let me into a library.
Eastern,
Oh, that's
because
true.
we went in there to find stuff.
They didn't mind my bells there.
Yeah, no, you have gotten kicked out of the Northwynd library before.
Amazing. Thank you.
Alright, I'm waiting for Charlotte to get the headset on. Okay. Yeah, so throughout those couple of weeks, so you guys have kind of done your own things. Throughout the 10 weeks, you notice banners being put up around the city and just an overall excitement around, especially after the smoke. After the first couple of weeks, the smoke is seen from the Grand Hall after they've made a decision. Still not really sure what the decision is, but you know that they've come to a decision. They're going to be making an announcement soon. There is a couple weeks later, there is a big kind of town hall meeting. We can kind of fast forward through. They do make the speaker of the house. Well, no, not the speaker of the house. What's his name? Speaker of the court, Lord Nicodemus, makes a big announcement announcing that they've decided to elect Emperor Darin Doratha as his to take over his rightful throne.
Solid, as they should.
A lot of cheering. You know, a lot of people just don't. You know, past 14 years, they didn't even realize. I guess they don't really know what's going on, but for the most part, people know and people believe and people are excited. So there's after that announcement's made, the streets are just filled with decorations being set up for what looks like a homecoming festival, and at the festival there's going to be a swearing in. And so there's different signs as to what to expect there. Come to the come here for at this location during the festival for reef shark racing. There's going to be a masquerade dance. There's going to be a drinking contest. There's going to be a dunk tank, and it's got a big picture of Guruk next to the dunk tank, and dunk your favorite bartender, and it's got a go to the jousting tournament. A couple different events, all over these posters, just everywhere around the city. And like I said, just a general excitement. Anya, I need you to make a charisma roll for the thing that you told me that you were going to do a while ago.
$19.
Okay. Night after night, Anya would frequent the tavern with you guys, and once in a while, kind of, you'd see her talking up some floozy dude at the bar, and some nights would kind of disappear just in the middle of the night, and once in a while, you would suspect that she's bringing dudes back over the course of 10 weeks, just dudes back to the manor that you guys are staying in, and kind of sneaking him in there.
Are they fucking?
Make a perception check.
Anya doesn't have a shadow daddy like other people, okay?
Everyone make a perception check, other than Anya.
Oh, I forgot about this.
I rolled a 10.
The DM never forgets.
I got 14.
I got a 22.
Oh.
Okay.
I can smell it.
It's the
Special
scene.
bard skill.
It's the scene in Dumb and Dumber where they're in a hotel and his ear's up to the wall and he's like, "Oh yeah, get her." That's Valdrick. That's Valdrick. Her ear's up to the wall.
Real on point.
And she's kind of Valdrick. You're kind of relaying to Solara and Calliope. Oh my gosh, I hear
They're
screaming.
fucking-
Oh, it's good screaming. Oh my gosh, that's Anya. Who's that dude? And just like night
The
after
screaming
night.
isn't Anya though. The screaming's definitely a man.
My
Wife
blood,
is
my
like
blood.
la 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 la.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear some things. So
God.
do with that what you want. If you confront Anya about it, if you
would
just kind
never
of
confront her. She lost Nox, and now she can Bing Bang Boogie whoever she wants to Bing Bang Boogie. I am, however, taking notes in a little journal that I keep to write smutty limericks.
at a certain point across the 10 weeks, a letter shows up at your doors. I don't have a prop for this one. I wish I did. But it is a formal invitation that shows up at your doors to attend a meeting with the High Court of Waydora on a certain date at noon, at the time of day that the sun is the highest, basically, is what they say. It looks like an official request straight from the High Court. It's got the seal, the Emperor's seal, signet seal on it. It's sealed with wax. They request, no weapons. Come to the meeting, and then that's you realize that that day is the same day that the festival starts. The festival starts that evening at sundown and kind of goes for for a couple days, but the start of it, you get this invitation.
Okay. It's been a while since we've had to do anything officially official, and honestly, I was wondering when they were going to invite the heroes of Northwynd to a High Court meeting. I was actually quite offended. 10 weeks is quite a long time.
I'm going to assume the clause to not bring any weapons is optional.
I mean, you truly are a weapon yourself. Have you seen yourself lately? You walked past a man on the street the other day, and I thought his neck was going to break. He turned so quick. All I need to bring is this, and I'm gonna point at my loot on my back.
Anya's been getting more tone. She's getting that bubble butt. More men are coming out of the room.
I mean, I'm down. Maybe they'll pay us. Do you think there's a reward for
We did
saving?
save the
If they're not
Emperor.
paying us, I'm not doing it. I make more money doctoring around town.
Yeah.
And even then,
confidence.
Old
I
Jesus.
don't even make that much.
Yeah, the Church of Solara truly is booming.
We should probably.
It's just how we
take it.
should have been getting word out of the Sass Father, honestly.
I'm
Should
much
just
more
been saving
linked
lives.
to this
The
religion
Church of
than
Solara. Yeah.
the last god that sent us on a journey.
You know,
Let's not bring him up right now. I don't need him to
semantics.
show up.
Both
Truly semantics.
of your tattoos give a little twinge.
It's okay.
Yeah, let's not mention him.
Shh. Shh. Okay, it's alright. Alright, we're gonna go and do politics? Get rewarded?
I feel like we shouldn't pick politics.
Do you think
to
they
do
can
politics.
knight us? Is the Emperor allowed to give out knighthoods?
I don't know if he does. He might.
Knight,
Honestly,
Dragon
I
Slayer,
just
Valdric.
want money. Those are.
I'm still bringing my weapons.
They said not to.
I think it's really...
Are they going to disarm me?
Yeah, true.
Like, fair.
I also think it's very stupid to think that she wouldn't bring her weapons. Look at her.
See, at least my wand I can use to put my hair in a bun, so it doesn't look like a weapon.
These hands are my weapon, and I'm gonna flex my teeny tiny muscles I've been working on. Yeah. Do you see that? Do you see it, Anya? I'm benching at least 25 right now. Yeah,
That high.
25 more.
25.
It's turns.
You know,
Okay then.
I can do at least 3. Well, let's fucking go.
All
Been
right.
forever since we've had to do something like this.
Well, yeah, we've all been resting up because the last couple of months have been hell.
I'm ready for the next adventure. There's only so many bullshitty things I can tell people in the tavern before they start really
Catching
catching
on.
on.
I'm pretty sure we still have money to make for the Predators Guild too, so
True.
my main priority.
Turn in with the breads.
Money, money, money.
Money,
There you
money, money, money.
All right. And with that, money is on the mind. Breakfast is in your stomachs. You get ready for the day, and this is about noontime. You all start to head up towards the Grand Hall.
I'm gonna slip 7 for in my bag of holding. I don't think I would leave him behind.
Oh, I have full weapons on me.
Trying to find some good music.
But decked. Did you write all of these, Chris?
I did.
Whatever that Twilight one was just now was very good.
I
You
love
like that
this
one?
so much.
Okay, let's do this one. It's just kind of just ambient. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this kind of fits. It's you're going into the Grand Hall again. It's where you had the Masquerade Ball. Obviously, a lot has been cleaned up and fixed over the past,
Much better in here.
8, 9, 10 weeks. You are met at the front doors. Let me find here some.
reminds me of being like at church and like where the pastor's giving like a really strong, emotional, deep like message, and they've got this like music going on in the background, and like, yeah,
That's what I
literally.
That's what I do. That's what I do every Sunday morning. I give the ambiance while pastor's just laying it on.
Go at it.
Feels
yeah,
Chris.
she says play the feels. Okay, so yeah, you enter into the Grand Hall much like it was before when you were going up to the Masquerade Ball, except there was that initial like ticketing line that you guys were able to persuade yourselves through. There's none of that. It's much more formal now. There's just two big doors with the two royal Waydorian guards standing on either side of the doors, and you walk up and approach them.
We have been invited. Yeah.
And he pulls yours. Where are the other threes? This is an official meeting with the High Court. The rest of your papers, please.
Like that one.
Yeah, you all got one.
Okay, I'll hold it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
thought it was just one for the entire group.
Like, I forgot mine at home.
Yeah, he takes each one.
You can't come.
Reviews the wax seal and makes sure that they're all legitimate. And he's like, "All right, your papers are in order. If you please, we'll leave your weapons here, and I will escort you inside." My assistant here will be patting you down for any hidden gems.
All I can think of is Pirates of the Caribbean scene where Elizabeth Swann is just pulling like a bajillion weapons out. That's all I can imagine Anya doing right now.
I can assure you your weapons will be safe with the Waydorian Guard. We will actually put them into this chest and bring them inside with us.
I'll step forward first and be like, I don't have any on me.
Yeah.
He starts patting
You're
you
welcome
down.
to check.
Yeah, he.
I have my own weapon.
You kind of T-pose and gives a nod to the other guard, starts feeling you down. Oh, nothing on you. What is this? And he pulls out your two daggers that you have, Calliope.
Like, I feel like honestly, I don't need them. I honestly forgot I had them.
Yep.
I'm so sorry. You can take those. I'll grab them later.
Clearly, you cannot hide anything from us, no matter how far up you may have them hidden. Next.
Does the wand count as a weapon?
I'm gonna step forward next. Hey, pat me down.
Gives a nod to the other one, starts patting you down.
Make sure you get really thorough.
Do you
Get
have?
up in the crevices.
Do you have anything on you?
Crevasse.
Get up in my crevasse. I mean, I've got 7 fur, but I put them in my bag of holding.
Okay.
I don't have any other weapons. I got my DOS loot. That's just a loot, though. It's a little instrument.
Yeah, he kind of twangs one of the strings, not realizing that it's the DOS loot, and he holds his hand to his forehead, and actually takes psychic damage because he's not attuned to this
Oh
magical item.
god, I'm so sorry.
So I think it's 2d6.
You shouldn't have done that.
It's not a weapon, it's just I put a curse on my guitar. You don't want enemy bards to play it.
He takes 8 psychic damage as he just holds his head, falls to one knee because that's a lot, and he's like, oh.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't like to be touched. Sorry.
And he just kind of waves you through.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
And
Sorry.
you'll do the rest of them. And he kind of points to Solara to come forward.
Okay. I pull out my little wimpy axe, my crossbow. I just drop it in the box. I'm like, honestly, I could just leave them. They're almost useless to me.
We have no use for this. We will return your weapons to you, whether you
Just
want them or
saying.
not.
Like, just take them.
I am my own weapon. Might as well put me in the box.
certainly believe so. Next.
Okay.
My weapons stay on me.
Your weapons, please, miss.
They
It's-
will stay on me. These weapons and myself escorted the High Court to safety during the attack. Had it not been for myself and these weapons, they would have been killed. The city would have been overrun with demons. So, if I wanted to kill the High Court, I had an opportunity, and I did not. Instead, I saved them. My weapons will stay on me.
Are you trying to be intimidating or are you trying to be persuasive? I'll let you pick. And then make the roll. Kind of sounds a little intimidating to me, yep.
It's my higher stat, so.
Okay.
A 16?
Total?
Can I help action her? Honestly don't even know how to help action that.
You can give her Bardic Inspo. What do you do to give her Bardic Inspo?
Can I be like, the weapons are actually attached to a person. If you try to remove them, it'd be bad for everyone involved. That's an honest fact.
Take a D8. Anya, go ahead and roll your D8 of Inspo.
Plus 4. So
Okay,
20.
so 20 flat. Okay, he eyes you for a long time. Here's what Valdrick says about taking the instruments or the weapons off and hurting. Looks down at his friend who's still on his knee, holding his head in agony, and now is on both knees. Just like he took his helmet off at this point and is just like rubbing his temples. Like clearly just not in. Doesn't want to talk, interact with anyone, and he kind of swallows, looks back to you. Follow me. And opens the doors, kind of shoves the man aside, the other guard aside, helps him to his feet. He's putting his helmet back on, but they open the doors and lead you into the Grand Hall. And they lead the four of you down the hall. It is obviously, like I said, cleaned up from the catastrophe that was 32 cows, as well as all the demons.
Coincidence?
And if you remember, just a big ballroom with the marble flooring, the flame kind of design on the ground. There's symbols and scenes of different dragons, like fighting each other, painted on the walls themselves. Pillars made of marble, the top part's marble, the bottom part's kind of supported with gold. There's that big circular room where the dance was that has like the 3 tiers, and that's where the stone table and the stone circle is set up, with the throne now sitting there and the 7 seats for the High Court of Waydora, and there's a few seats on the other side that they've pulled up for you, 4 of them, as they're ushering you in. They all stand, except for the Emperor. He stays seated in his throne. They all stand as you all enter, walk the whole way down, and the guard kind of hands you guys off and says, this one's armed. And they kind of give him a look, and he, the Dragonborn, General Thimric, is kind of like giving a look, like an angry look from the guard back to Anya, back to the guard, and the Emperor just kind of waves him off and shakes his head, saying, "It's okay. She saved my life." And they kind of excuses the guards and they walk back. Anya, by the way, your sunblade is kind of warm just because of, you would assume, the presence of the Dragonborn General Thimric. Kind of warm because he's not full dragon. But you all take your seats. and the speaker who gave the announcement about the new emperor being chosen, kind of an older dude, graying beard, short beard. He has a golden cloak that he wears with a sash kind of over around as like a headband. I will post him in the chat actually, just give you a visual. So, bing bong. Make sure that's the right chat. There you go. So that's going to be in Winds of Waydora chat. That is Lord Nicodemus, and you know him as the Speaker of the Court.
Looks like familiar. Like I've seen this man before.
AI, I thought he was familiar too, apparently. Kind of motions you all four to sit, and he says, "Distinguished lords and ladies of the High Court, Sir Cornelius, honored guests, and Your Highness," and he kind of motions at Emperor Darin Doratha, and he says, "It is with great honor that we officially welcome the return of our beloved Emperor Doratha. To our guests, you have been invited to the occasion because you have more than earned your seat at the table. If not for your heroics, not one person in this room would be alive, and the capital would now be in the hands of the demon lord called Diabras. With that said, I'd like to once again welcome Emperor Doratha back to the table. He has much to address, Your Excellence." And he motions to the Emperor, who then begins speaking. "Thank you, Nicodemus. I am honored once again to restore the Doratha bloodline to the throne. I will keep this initial meeting brief, as the festivities are beginning soon and we all deserve to celebrate. First and foremost, this nation came dangerously close to a civil war. With the rising terrorism incited by the Demon Lord, it is vital that we reassure our neighboring allies that the fight is against otherworldly beings, not ourselves. With the Demon Lord's escape, we can only assume his dregs are still at work. Ambassador Jorman," and he kind of turns to one of the members. "With the recent change in leadership in Eastwind after the tyrannical rule of Duke Cunningrow, I'm sending you there on assignment. Ensure King Hoderheck that he has the capital's full support, and that I have called off the Waydorian guards sent there for containment. It is of vital importance that we rekindle that relationship. I'm counting on you." And you see the guy he's talking to respond, "It will be done, Your Excellency." He kind of turns over to the couple seated on the other side. "Lord and Lady Churnwood, high merchants of the court, you are to travel to Westwind City. Their racism dies with Prince Sharpwood, and with his death, they are in need of new leadership. Go there and get things back under control so that the trade routes may resume to and from the city. Their mercantile is precious to Waydora." And they both kind of nod and say, "Yes, Your Excellence." And finally, he turns to you guys. "To those who call themselves the Wenches of Waydora, is that correct? Yes, the Wenches of Waydora. Your presence here is wanted and welcomed. And as a token of our thanks, I would like to extend to you a place to live, a place to call your home. Anywhere you want on the continent, it's yours. So please meet with Vassal Lankus after we adjourn here, and he will provide further details. With this land ownership, however, comes one final task of me before we part ways. Diabras is still at large and must be hunted down and destroyed. I have no doubt that he will return after amassing an army from the Hells. And if he is given time to regroup, we will not survive another attack. Rid Waydora of his stench and bring his head back to this table, and you will forever be in our debt. All of Waydora is counting on the four of you. Do you understand?" Good. For now, enjoy yourselves tonight. Tomorrow's struggles can wait. And he kind of looks around, nods. This meeting is adjourned. And they all rise together and begin kind of filing out.
They're gonna give us a
Guys,
you guys.
I
That's
know.
fucking
Do you think?
cool.
Do you think I would
We
get
could
us
definitely-
like a castle?
Yeah, I mean they said anywhere, right?
Right? I mean, and they said anywhere. I mean, I don't even know where to start. It has to have a horse barn.
I mean, we do have multiple.
Yes, exactly. And maybe a church.
A church.
Those are my.
In the house?
Just somewhere on the
Okay.
property.
I was like, you want a church in the house?
I'm just
Oh.
saying. So father feels comfortable visiting.
Represented.
Yes.
You guys can continue to talk amongst yourselves. I am posting all 7 of the people. So, go
I look
ahead.
like that one guy.
Because that's for sure.
Liam.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah.
I literally typed in Liam Neeson in a medieval noble clothing,
course you
and
did.
that's what popped up. And I was like,
I'm
you know,
Fantastic.
so
I
glad.
love it.
that was just the vibe I was getting last season. I was like, you know what? He is. He's Liam Neeson.
Gosh, we're gonna have like our own little clubhouse.
We get a home base,
That we can go back to a home.
and you can leave all your trinkets, or at least the stuff you don't want to bring with you at the time. Because I have to imagine all those teeth get heavy.
We
at
can
some
fill
point.
it with trophies. No, I put my teeth in my bag of holding.
Don't you have a bunch hanging off of you though?
Yeah, but I would never get rid of those as my trophies.
Okay. Fair
Tells
enough.
people know that I'm a badass.
The giant. What? Aren't you wearing like dragon scale armor right now?
Me?
No, you got really big, pretty shoulders thingies.
I got cool pauldrons,
That's right.
but my teeth are really what does it. Oh, well, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, I feel like like I need like a list of options almost.
Yeah, we
you
need
know?
time to like research this.
We can hire a realtor.
Oh, a fantasy
Look for
realtor.
someplace
Yeah.
away from people.
Okay.
Like a
That's
little
a
Be off the
great-
coast.
Like
cliffside.
Ooh,
Maybe for when we get our eventual boat, and then we can build our own little.
Oh,
Yes.
that's thinking ahead.
Or- yes.
Ladies,
Love
if I may,
Um,
Vassal
We're
Angus.
just dreaming.
Yeah, the rest of the kind of court are kind of mingling and kind of walking around, but the vassal is kind of waiting for you guys and is kind of overhearing your talks and is, if you need assistance with where to
Oh,
live,
yeah, we do.
I can provide that. I obviously am the vassal of the court. I manage land ownership and districting, not just in Northwynd, but all over Waydora. I know this continent like the back of my hand. You want a cabin in the woods, it's yours. You want a little shack on the ocean, it's yours. We can
This
discuss.
is more castle. Do you
Yeah,
have
we
any
want-
of those?
Castle by the ocean.
You've heard of Cake by the Ocean, but have you heard of Castle by the
Or
Ocean?
maybe just a very large cabin with
Yes.
at least a barn. We need somewhere to place our horses.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, of course. It will be much bigger than a cottage. That's just.
Okay.
It's
okay.
just. It's an example.
You know, if we can't do a castle, something slightly smaller will work.
We have a certain amount of budgeted currency for this occasion. We obviously don't have the means of constructing a castle, but maybe a small
One
keep,
day.
small strong.
A keep. Yeah, stronghold sounds good.
So
There's-
whatever.
We each want our own room.
Of course,
I wanna-
obviously,
a
and,
whole
Or
Have
a
one
floor,
giant
maybe?
room.
Wander down
and he's
with a candle at night.
he's furiously writing down notes. He's got like a kind of
Man.
clipboard like thing and a piece of parchment on it, and he's as you guys
I
are
would like
talking,
an
he's
outdoor patio balcony on mine. With
I want
mine, thank you.
Big window next to my bathtub that I can open up.
And I would like
Look
to be
at
able
the
to
hair on
overlook,
my
yeah,
skin.
overlook the horse barn from my room as well.
Horse barn, of course, and 4
Yes.
horses.
A
correct?
training room.
Yes, we have 4. Yes.
Training room.
Library.
Dungeon.
Training.
Library.
Not dungeon. Maybe that's the wrong way to put it.
No,
The-
dungeon.
A
Yeah,
room where you would
dungeon.
hold people if
No.
they had chains and a lock on the
Dungeon.
door.
Otherwise known as a dungeon.
Maybe put that in the basement. Yeah.
Definitely a training room.
And where a dungeon should go.
Wine cellar.
Wine
Wine
cellar.
cellar. Now there's an idea. I like that with this one. Thanks. Training and a wine cellar.
A
Both to be
portrait
used on the same
hallway.
days. Portrait hallway. That's
Yeah.
Library.
all hallways. All hallways are
Obviously.
for portraits, are they not?
Yes.
Drinking and books. That's how.
That's good.
Yes. All this can be arranged. It will just, of course, take time to construct, but we can at least talk about the location because, as you all know, location. It's very important. Maybe somewhere probably secluded, or unless you want to be near
No.
a major city
No.
like Westwood.
No. No one wants to be near us.
No, of course not really. Yes. Secluded, any pulls up a map of Waydora and it doesn't show like every single point of location, but most most of the towns, cities, and even some villages on it. Shows terrain of mountains, of all the rivers, most everything that they've recorded so far. He kind of pulls out this big map, and he's like, so obviously up here in the Northlands, we experience all 4 seasons throughout the year. It's typically on the colder side, but the more west you go, that's where the real snow and heavy mountainous ranges. So if you're looking for maybe like a secluded place in the snowy mountains, could go that route. Or if you're looking for somewhere like swampy, hot, muggy, down towards Southwind, maybe a place right in the center, just to see, beautiful lakeside resort, of course, that can be arranged, or maybe you're wanting to be beachside. It's all up to you. Of course, the desert land of Westwind, there's the forests of the Elder Forest, the Red Forest. Really, it's all up to you. Of course, I can't guarantee that any spit of land is going to be safe, but your place will be guarded by 5 of our men that will be posted there while you are gone adventuring, which I'm sure you will be.
Solid. Do we get the men? No particular reason why.
And it could even be a business if maybe you want to set up a tavern and have a couple workers there, and you live on the top floor. That can be arranged. Or if you're making it all for yourselves, that's also
All for ourselves.
No business, right? Okay, business out of the question. Make more like
Only
a manor,
pleasure.
like
Yes.
a pleasure house, of course.
Oh,
Yes.
house.
Yes, well, General Thimrick will provide 5 Waydorian guards to protect it while you are gone, of course, and led by our finest of the Waydorian guard, Gibson. We call him Gibby.
Is Gibson in the room? Can I see Gibson?
Gibson is not in the room. I can fetch him if you would like to meet him. Of course, you would want to meet.
Yeah.
The guard. Yeah.
Definitely.
General, can you fetch the guards that are going to be?
Yes, all 5 of them.
Yes, yeah,
please.
all 5 of them. Bring Gibby, all
Yes.
of them.
Who wants to bet that one of them's
Bring us
one
Gibby.
that's Anya intimidated at the front door?
I'm just gonna
I
run
want
through
those
these
dum-dums.
guards.
One of them took 8 points of physical damage. I don't want those dum-dums guarding our house.
Thimrick slowly nods, turns very gracefully, and slowly walks out. Yes, in the meantime. So more of a manor, kind of you call it a pleasure house, but logistically speaking, it's a manor.
Yeah.
Provided a few acres of land, of course. You, of course, you may keep your title of Wenches if that's more your style, but specifically speaking, you will all be ladies. You will all have the title of Lady Voldrick, Lady Solara,
I like it.
Lady Calliope, Lady Anya.
I'm not sure Volker can give another polymer.
Baldrick's already writing the title in front of her 5 titles she has on her name already. I know that's good.
Yes, yes.
Lady Dragonslayer
It's
Valdrick.
always good to
It's
be
like
a lady.
Lady
of the land.
Valdrick, Wench of Waydora. It's like in Game of Thrones, like you need like
Wench
like
of
5 other
Waydora,
names.
Demon Killer Dragon Slayer.
Of the Phantasmo Hollow.
Phantasmal Holler, Layer of Demons. Yes, thank you.
Yes, ladies. And of course, obviously, you wouldn't have to worry about the placement if it's too far. Obviously, you're adventuring all the time. We get that. And with this budget comes, I believe Cornelius has already agreed to set up a teleportation sigil at your house. Should you need
Fantastic.
fast travel to and from the sigil. Of course, the sigil will only work if it's a two-way sigil. It's not just, one way to wherever. They have to have coordinating sigils. Of course, there's one set up here in Northwynd, actually one at each of the major cities, Eastwind, Southwind, Westwind, and one at your place. And of course, you can set up more sigils as you go along. It is an expensive process and has been budgeted in, but it will be done. Will take some time. But consider this map. Consider where you would like to live, and return to me either by letter or by just returning to the High Court, and we will talk specifics. Actually, here comes your detailed guard now, and 5 Waydorian guards come in, red and blue armor, all led by this guy named Gibby.
You already know what I'm gonna ask you, Chris.
What are you gonna ask me?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hot are each of these men? And you line them up for me from objectively hottest backwards.
Are they hot?
They're all fairly tall, being in the Waydorian Guard, at least 6 foot. All of them, they're heavily armored. All of them have the helmet on that covers, it's like a T almost. So you can't really tell. Gibby does have his helmet off. He probably has lightish brown hair, shoulder length, long mustache, and, beard to match.
I feel like I would have known that this would be Valdrick's question, so I would just immediately tell them to take their helmets off.
Yeah. Everyone remove your helmets and your armor while you're at it.
They kind of look around at each other and they don't really see a problem, so they take their helmets off, not their armor, but they do take their helmets off and hold
They
it at the
strip
side.
completely down in the high court. Baldrick's like, perfect. This is good. This is good.
Yeah, one of them, buzz cut, scar across his eyebrow. Looks like one of his eyes might have been blinded, but it's just kind of white and not like the others. Bald, kind of buzz cut. Most of them are cleanly shaven, except for Gibby. They're all cleanly shaven. Another one kind of has like a black
hockey players at the start of the season.
Black mohawk, shaved on the sides,
Nice.
dark brown
Alright.
eyes. The other one is a redhead. He's kind of got a ponytail thing going on, and then the fourth has a dreads. It's a black dude.
Nice. Inclusive.
Yep.
Love it.
Very inclusive. Shorter length dreads.
Solid. Solid. And how willing are each of you to follow orders?
Orders are to protect the manor, of course.
Very
We follow your orders, of course, at the Emperor's request.
Yeah, you can put your helmets back on. It sounds great. Let's pick a location.
Oh, this should be fun.
Oh Lord.
This is the best day of my life.
Those poor guards.
And of course, with this living arrangement, Vassal Anchors continues, comes with a quarters for a barracks, if you will, a separate, unless you would like them in the house with you, of course, probably not. You prefer your privacy. They will have their own separate barracks where they will live.
Yeah, they can sleep
And they
outside
can cycle
the
out.
barracks.
Yes. And that will be as far off the land or as close to the house as you want it. It's all up to you. Just within the acreage. They will, of course, have a place to stay.
This is good.
Gibby's selected for, they're not just, protective guards. They all have their own skills, woodworking, cooking. One of them will be the chef. They all kind of know their roles. When they're not on guard duty, they are
This is a beautiful fucking day.
housekeeping chores.
It
Yes.
just keeps getting better.
It just keeps getting better. I'm buying aprons. I love
I was
this.
prepared to just pull like a Fantasia. It's just over there, just go.
Now we have heavily armored men who will cook for us, and I love that.
And that was
This is incredible. We really should bring emperors back to life more often.
Agreed.
I mean, well, why not?
Beautiful.
All right. Where to? So, are you guys want to kind of sleep on it a bit, or you want to kind of decide now? It's all up to you guys.
I mean, are we able to collectively decide on a cliffside by the or the house by the water?
I'm
good with
down
the
by the
house
water.
Maybe surrounded by
I love an
forest.
ocean view.
Yeah.
With some surrounding forest. Yeah, love it.
Ocean views are always spectacular. Of course, there's the Emerald Sea to the west. It's definitely more hot and dry with the sand. Of course, the Savage Sea to the northwest is a bit more gloomy, a bit colder. Then you have the seas to the east, the south. It all depends type of climate, but we can definitely do oceanside. That's no problem.
If we're by
Swampy.
the Azure Sea, then we're close to Jagmeister and Saltmarsh.
And Winds Peak.
True.
Sounds great.
And the
Azure Sea.
Hunting Lodge
Family.
to return contracts.
Drop us over there, baby. That sounds perfect.
Azure Sea is a beautiful, beautiful spectacle, and the way the sun sets on the east, you have chosen a good location. Now, Azure Sea is shaped more like a gulf. Were you thinking south side, west side, or north side of the Azure Sea? Do you guys have access to the map? If you,
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, if you click on the map, you can.
Maybe like somewhere in the middle.
Like where the A is, and then directly over.
Yeah.
So west side.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I can't read it. What's that thing in red right under Malgoth? Something maze?
Malgoth's Maze.
Oh, okay.
You guys heard about that? I think 2 seasons ago. Yeah, it was like an option to go there. You guys decided to go somewhere else, so it's just kind
I
of
made
it's
a
kind of
note
there.
about it.
Yep. Calliope made a note about it. Kind of guesstimated where it would be based on the information that you found. I think it was like a note on an orc's body or something, talking about the Malgoth's Maze.
It was around the time of the exploding head on the turtle, I think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right. All right. Yeah. Each of you can, on your own time, maybe the next couple weeks, can design your own room. Just kind of tell me what it would look like.
I'm gonna go full Sims mode.
Yeah, go full Sims mode.
Wait,
Just,
I'm about to send you a Pinterest board.
yeah.
That says like I'm going to make a Pinterest board.
Send me your
for
Pinterest boards. I'll make some AI generated images for it. Yeah.
I'm gonna make a list of like manor names, like Darkmoor Manor, except better,
Mm-hmm.
and we can have a vote.
Wind Manor.
All right.
All right.
Now what?
Well, it sounds like there's a party about to happen.
That's what says like
Yeah.
I feel like the next step is to go join the festival. But not outside.
All right. The two guards that ushered you in. One of them still kind of rubbing his head. Begin to usher you out. Nicodemus kind of says his goodbyes, and guards lead you to the chest of weapons. Opens up the chest, and they do the honors of pulling the weapons out, distributing them back to you. And as you're leaving, Cornelius, the court wizard, he's been there kind of. You would assume he was the one cleaning up a lot of the mess, because he was doing a lot of, if you remember in the finale, he was keeping the pillars from breaking. During this meeting, he was kind of just puttering about, inspecting the pillars for further enchantments or crazy things like that. As you guys are leaving, he says, Calliope, may I speak with you before you go? Alone, if you don't mind.
I'll look at everyone and go, of course. I'll meet you guys outside, I guess.
All right. Carmina, join me in D&D private, please.
Does she need to like leave the room?
Yeah,
She
do
did
I?
not hear it.
Oh, yeah, because, yeah. If,
Get out, Mina.
out of
I will go to my room.
out of vision and sound.
Bye, Mina.
Bye.
All right, ladies, you guys, talk about your rooms or talk about whatever your manner, how the pecking order of the guards that you guys are about to go through.
Literally the pecking order.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll be back. All right, D&D private. All right.
Yeah, you kitty.
So he pulls you aside. The rest of the ladies exit the building, and he says, Calliope, I owe you an apology.
Why would you owe me an apology?
Well, that's sort of the thing. I don't really know how to say this, Calliope. I sort of erased your memory. Maybe not so much erased as altered.
Why?
It's a long story. That is the big question, isn't it? Why? It had to be done. Believe me, it had to be done. And of course, you don't remember who I am, but I know who you were. I recognized you the second you were at the masquerade ball. I altered it to think that you... To make you think that you were teleported to an alternate plane through the Tome of the Still Tongues.
You're telling me that's not what happened?
Well, you went there, of course. That was real. But I sort of banished you there. It wasn't because you stumbled upon a book. You did stumble upon a bit of information, though, that I did not want you to know. No one should have known. And I, of course, didn't know you at the time. I didn't want you to have this information. I didn't know what else to do. I sort of panicked. It was for the good of Waydora. You must believe me. And of course, I know that that means nothing to you right now. But I have to be honest with you, especially after the way you and your friends performed. you saved the city. I at least owe you the truth. And the truth is, you were getting too close to uncovering a secret.
I'm assuming I can't know the secret that I was stumbling upon since I was banished for it.
What
Does
else?
it? Does it have anything to do with what was going on with the Emperor? Or is this a completely different issue that I was...
This is much more broader than just the Emperor. This is an ancient secret of Waydora that not too many people know about, and I'm not even sure the Emperor knows about. Only I, to my knowledge, know about this, and you're a curious one. You are aware of how your research takes you into rabbit holes, and you must see everything through, and that's just the sort of person you are. And of course, you were in the Northwynd library in the restricted section, studying things that you shouldn't be studying, at least all at once. And you were starting to put the pieces together. I noticed I had to act, but now that I know that you are trustworthy, I owe you the truth, and the truth is that there is an ancient secret about Waydora that, if uncovered in the wrong hands, can be catastrophic, but in the right hands can be good for the land. And judging by the way your companions acted, especially Anya saving the High Court and whatnot, you seem to be the heroic type. But it is an ancient secret about the land of Waydora. It's called the Way.
The Way?
I unfortunately don't have much information about it myself. We have ancient manuscripts in the restricted section that only very few people can access, and me being one of them, and even still, it doesn't give us all the information. But what I can tell you is that I've taken your memories from a certain point, bottled them up, and sent the glass vial to oblivion. I guess more specifically to Genesis. I'm sure you've heard of Genesis.
Would I have heard of that?
Make a history check.
Oh, give me 1 second. I didn't bring my dice in with me. I didn't think that far ahead.
It's alright, I have to look something up anyways.
You said history check?
Yep.
Oh, thank God I'm proficient in history. $15?
You've heard of Genesis. You know that it's a distant land, but not like a material world land. It's almost, you're not sure if it's another dimension or what, but you've heard some wild things about Genesis. Yeah, that's about as much as you can retain. But he says, to Genesis, well, perhaps I've erased that part of your memory too. It's the Feywild. The Feywild is many different lands, but specifically, I sent your memories in a one-way ticket in this glass vial to Genesis, and if you want them back, you can speak to him. You can speak to one of the people there, and that I sent it with for safekeeping. One that knows about the way, the ancient secret of Waydora.
I think he's being truthful about all of this.
Roll insight.
$24.
Yeah, he seems truthful to you. You're kind of watching for any ticks. He keeps eye contact with you the entire time. There's no quiver in his voice. It remains pretty steady. Yeah, you get a pretty good read on him, and you think that he's telling the truth. And he says, "Go there if you want your memories back. Of course, the Diabras thing, that's obviously of a pressing matter, but if you find the time, go to Genesis, speak to the elemental there. His name is Hezron. There's a small village. I don't know all the specifics of it. It's ever-changing. The Feywild is a land that I fully don't understand myself, and I would like to do more research on. But his name is Hezron. He has your memories. If you would like them back, that's where to find them. If not, if you want to start anew, I totally understand that as well. There's advantages to having a clean slate. But there might be valuable things in your memory that you might want back. Certain studies that you've spent months, years on to find and recover. But once again, I apologize. It had to be done.
Is the way a bad thing? Should the wenches be concerned about it, or is it just not something that people should know about?
People should not know about it. Like I said, in the wrong hands, it can be a very, very bad thing. In the right hands, it can be a good thing and fruitful for the land. It is all depending on who is to uncover it. So.
Understood. Thank you for letting me know.
Of course. And I hope to see you around. You're a good wizard, and it's nice to see you again.
Bow my head, say thank you, and head back out towards the lunches unless he has anything else to tell me.
That's it. He ushers you back, and we can join the group again.
You
Sissy boy. Bird bones.
Finally.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Falling
Lots of jobs
asleep
available.
Here.
Sorry.
Welcome back.
Jobs available.
I don't like the look on your face. I don't like that Mina tittered into the room to grab paperwork and then ran. I don't like the noise she just made on her headphones either.
Oh, we were re-rolling her new character. Yeah, it was a whole thing. I'm just kidding.
R.I.P. Calliope.
R.I.P. Calliope. You're actually dead. Congratulations. You are the werewolf.
Calliope is dead.
You're Hobo Dan.
Oh no.
And now we're all going to deliberate about who the werewolf could be. Certainly
Grandpa
not
Gouda,
Calliope. Always Grandpa Gouda.
Always.
Freaking village of cheese.
So, next session will be the festival. There'll be fun
Nice.
times. This will kind of wrap up here. If you want a cliffhanger, you could ask
Obviously.
about
I want a cliffhanger.
what Calliope you could
Yeah,
ask.
I'd immediately be like, let that
Oh.
wizard take it away.
The cliffhanger is dependent on what Calliope decides to share.
What the fuck did the wizard say to you?
Well, found out all my memories are missing.
All of them?
Well, not all of the name. And I know most of the stuff as a wizard.
Okay.
He took them from me.
That's less.
Cornelius?
Less great. Yes. Yeah. I apparently dug too far into something in the restricted section.
You pulled a Gale.
And he banished me because he didn't know me well, apparently. He seems truthful about it, and he seems very sorry. He told me how to get my memories back,
Okay, how do we do that?
which are in the Feywild. He put them in a little vial and sent them to an elemental named Hazaroth.
Oh.
There. So if I want them back, I have to go to the Feywild.
Okay.
So,
The Feywild.
slightly sketched, but he was truthful for the reason he took them.
Which was that you were very naughty.
I apparently was putting too many things together, so I'm not going to mention it because I don't want my memories banished again until I can double check with him that it's not, I won't be murdered in my sleep.
God, scandalous. Also, I love the Feywild. It's the last time I went to the Feywild, I was like 18.
Well, I can't say I've never
Wild
been
time.
because I don't have so.
There was a lot of dryad sex that happened when I went to the Feywild. Had a weird itch for a few days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I will know.
Yeah, Feywild parties are crazy. To be honest, I don't even really remember how I got back. I don't remember how I got there.
Were you drunk when this happened?
Probably. Mishka, please. She's just panting. Is there a storm outside?
Not that I've seen.
Mishka thinks there is.
There's just a loud general boom. That's all it takes.
Yeah, if the vibe is off, Mishka starts doing what she's doing right now.
Well,
Okay, so off to the Feywild next time?
yes. If it's on our way to find Diabras.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Hey, I will say, you can get all sorts of information in the Feywilds.
And honestly, once we're not in Northwynd, I'll tell you guys. Apparently, I have a name of what I was digging into, but I don't think I want to tell you here.
Okay, yeah, let's definitely not say it in front of the guy that took all your memories to begin with.
Yeah,
Secret secrets.
Yeah.
that was a little creepy. I'll tell you guys once we leave Northwynd. So, I don't want more memories gone.
That's so fun. Valdrick is so scandalized by the fact that Calliope was naughty enough to get all of her memories taken away.
Honestly, it explains why I fit in with the group so much.
It really does. We're a bunch of fucking hoodlums.
I can't wait to hear what you found. I can't wait for you to tell me.
wait to find out what's in my memories that I got banished for. So apparently I didn't find the Distilled Tongues book. He banished me, which I was like, that seems a little extreme, mind you.
Yeah. Sometimes you get banished.
We could have talked this out.
So then did he plant the memory of you going through the Book of Distilled Tongues?
Yes. Because he knew how I thought I ended up on that plane.
The plot thickens.
And he
There's a
seemed
lot of
truthful
manipulation.
about it.
We're all like peering over Calliope's shoulder at the wizard.
Well, she has gone. The doors are closed. He's in. I would assume this is as you guys are walking back.
Yeah,
To the main
we're
part of
not
the city.
standing there, so he can hear me telling you all the shit that I probably shouldn't know.
Just like,
so.
I've got the tea.
Let's go. It explains why someone was talking to me and acted like they knew me. So
That's fucking true, because they did. Wait, so was he a mentor?
no, he said he didn't know me well, which is why he banished me when I found out that thing I shouldn't have known about.
Oh god, I'm so excited. Let's get the fuck out of here.
US government.
He
Yeah.
said it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it could be bad in the wrong hands, but it's good in the good hands. So it's not
Okay.
Diabras level, apparently.
Vague. I love it.
He doesn't know very much about it either, though. So
What I'm hearing is festival, Feywild party, Nana home full of men in
tiny loincloths. I mean armor, obviously. They'll take very good care of our house, I'm sure.